Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. These words from our very own Lady Liberty speak to the generous hearts of many Americans, and never has that generosity been more aptly modeled than during the aftermath of the devastating 2007 Southern California wildfires, as these relentless nonstop flames blazed their way through Southern California. Almost 1 million people were evacuated from their homes, along with their beloved pets. With eyes glued to TV screens, residents watched in horror the devastating power of the high-speed flames that were all too close and too real. Family members and friends in San Diego City and county neighborhoods were in danger, many escaping brief moments before the flames ripped through their homes. The combined efforts of over 7,000 firefighters bravely fighting this unyielding enemy could still not save the more than 1,700 homes that were reduced to ash.
Occasionally we have a fire situation where, practically speaking, it's impossible to stop the fire. So we want to address the life safety issues. We know the path of the fire, we know the climatic conditions, and so we will remove the people from the path of the fire and concentrate our resources on that, rather than trying to make an aggressive stop on the fire and fight nature.
The fire was so intense to my immediate south. Hillside was about 50% burned, and the fire had already caught up to it coming down Sycamore Creek, that at this point in time, as the neighbors were gathering together, we had learned quickly that there was no escape. We only have one way out at Sycamore Creek, and when the neighbor came back and said it was blocked, we knew that it was a time of survival. It was a bit of a miracle that this home, this little oasis for the DeBolts, my daughter and son-in-law and grandson and ourselves, even had a home to preserve.
When we got into the hot tub, when we were getting close to the hot tub, realizing that the winds are just blowing 40, 60 miles an hour, there's embers in the air. You got all the ladies right here. You got my wife and son sitting right there. And the picture that keeps coming to mind when I see that step is my son shivering to death. He's turning pale, he's starting to look a little flaccid, and at that point I realized the pool wasn't safe anymore for my son. And yet it was the only safe place for all of us.
So pretty much at that point you're thinking in your livestock is a total loss, your home may be a total loss, but you're in the jacuzzi with the other neighbors. And what's going through your thoughts at that time?
Well, we brought our dogs over, we got our cats, we got them in cat carriers and put wet towels over the cat carriers. We had our dogs with us, and we're over there in the pool, and this firestorm is just going all around us, and the embers are flying past us. The wind was so strong, and it's flying past us, and we were just sitting there kind of in shock, just watching this, and really felt helpless, like there was nothing we could do. But, you know, was scared to make a move out of the pool at that point either, lest we'd have some injury.
So you evacuated to Oceanside, and you now are a refugee from the firestorm. When did it first occur to you that you may be homeless?
What I remember was I think it was Wednesday night or last night there. We were awakened at 2 in the morning. Someone was pounding on the door. Of course, the first thought was the fire at Pendleton is coming, and it was a homeless woman. And she was cold, and she asked if she could have a blanket. And so we were able to find a blanket and pillow for her. And she was going to just sleep out there in the lobby area. And I think it hit me then. And I felt so bad for her because we had a room and I knew how much we still had.
we looked for her in the morning, and she was already gone.
But the hotel people gave her the blanket to keep.
So we were going to do something more for her, but at the time we were kind of startled because, as Sally said, the previous few nights, especially Sally, had been up all night, glued to the TV, watching the fires. At that point, we still didn't know that the fires weren't going to hit Oceanside. They were down in Encinitas, and they were evacuating out of there. We could see the Pendleton fires from our balcony, so we were still a bit on edge for that. So then when this happened at 2 a.m. on Wednesday morning, it was pretty startling. We would have given her anything if we'd had presence of mind. She just asked for a pillow and blankets. Well, sure, you can have that. But anyway, it was a pretty poignant moment.
Yeah. God knocked on your door, didn't he?
Definitely.
He did.